Thank you for coming in this afternoon as we carry out our consultations around Fiji. As Billy had said, our aim is to try and cover the whole of Fiji by December this year. Basically, our main purpose of coming here is not actually to come to Labasa. We wanted to visit the rural areas of Honolulu. But since we are here today, we thought that we would carry out a consultation here before we go to Undu Point, Tewa, and all the various villages in the rural isolated areas of Fiji. 2 weeks ago we were in Lomaiviti. We covered the whole of Lomaiviti. And previously, prior to that, we had covered Katabu and Didlau. After we will go to Rotuma, and we will come back and cover the whole small islands of Honolulu, starting from Endua, Thikombia, right to Ngamea, and the surrounding islands. On this trip, we will cover Labasa, Tewa, all the areas in Paduata and Bua. Then we will move across to Sabsang. And then on Friday we will go across to Taveuni. We'll cover the northern part of Taveuni and then Huna at the southern part. Then we'll come back and we'll do the bay around Bua to number 1 and cover every villages hopefully by next Tuesday. Then we will go back to Suva. The main purpose of visiting is taking the exercise of providing services to the rural isolated areas. As you would remember in the past, if you want something, you have to go to Suva or see the minister. The present government has a different perspective in the way of service delivery. The minister has to go out and visit the people. And so if I am not here to come and visit you, maybe this will be my last month serving as the Minister for Employment, because the Prime Minister normally goes around and visits the various places. The last 9 months, as I said, we were here 9 months ago. As soon as I was appointed as Minister for Employment, we came across and did public consultations. I can tell you that the Ministry of Employment have matured in the last 9 months. I've seen a lot of progress in the ability for our ministry to deliver. I come from a tourism background, and when you have people coming to an office, I would like to see our people smiling and say, "Good morning, madam," or "Good morning, sir. What can I do to help you?" I sort of initiated that discussion so that when you come to our office of employment, the people that are sitting at the front are quite friendly to you, that they are of service other than you bothering them in the morning or in the afternoon as you walk into an office. That's a main perspective and the delivery that I want the Ministry of Employment to have. It's not that you are bothering them to come and ask them for advice. They are actually there to deliver service and do whatever you require or answer your queries and questions. I think from that perspective, the Ministry of Employment has changed a great deal. I, for one, when I went into the ministry, our office is on the 4th floor of Civic House in Suva. As soon as I looked in, I told our officers, this is not a place to come to. This is almost like you're coming to a hospital to visit the cemetery, to visit the place where dead bodies are. Because the first reflection of what people are is basically when you walk to a front and you see how well placed it is. People are smiling, the office looks nice, there's flower on the side, which basically is an attraction for the public to see that the people that are working in that ministry is actually happy to see someone coming up to ask them for queries and questions. In Labasa, there have been a lot of complaints about security firms. I receive all the complaints that come up because whatever comes through our ministry, it comes up to me as what are the main complaints. The main complaints that I have received in Labasa is about security people. Main complaints that we have in Labasa have been the security companies and the way they have treated their workers, the hours and the overtime and all that. But I think overall we have settled, we have been able to resolve all the issues. Today we were hopeful that some employers would be here because when the workers raised their questions on issues of workers' conditions and overtime, the employers should be here to at least or give the reflection of their own views to the complaints by the workers. But I don't know, maybe there are some employers here, I'm not sure. But it would be nice to hear two-way discussions between the workers that complain and the employers that actually run the company and are able to make the commercial entity viable to be able to pay the employees. The second main aim of our visit is for seasonal work program. I can see that there's a lot of ex-seasonal workers here who have worked in Australia and New Zealand. Now we are carrying out a pilot project where we would like to entice rural isolated villages and settlements. Not only villages and settlements where all races live in that are far away from the town, and we would like to assist them by sending them to Australia and New Zealand. At the moment, there is a confirmed work in Australia and New Zealand. I'm negotiating with the United States for work in California, in the nut farms in California, and I'm negotiating, and I'm also negotiating with Canada and Hawaii. Just today, I have been able to talk to Israel, and I'm hoping that there's some interest over that side. But the emphasis on seasonal work, that the government is responsible to do about 80% of the work, which basically to try and look for work for our people. The 20% of the work, the other 80% is the contribution by the workers who have been picked to travel across and work in the farms in New Zealand for 7 months and in Australia for 8 months.
6 months.
I think that's enough for me because otherwise I'll keep talking and you won't be able to ask any questions. Thank you very much for coming in, Labasa. I can see that you have a lot of interest. I would like also to thank our regional office in Labasa in preparing our venue today. We are here to listen and we can answer the questions. We are here to hear complaints and try and solve it. If we can solve it, we will note it down and note your number so that we can continue to communicate and resolve any issues that you have. I can look around, I see people that have come into my office to raise complaints. So if your complaints have not been resolved, if your issues have not been resolved, please raise it so that I can, at least we can know the stage where your complaints have reached and we can assist you further on those issues.
My name is Surendra Rao, former Member of Parliament. Well, the issue, I'll express myself that the initiative taken by your ministry is mindful of what is actually happening in the north. As you are aware, the major obstacle we have in Lambasa is the number of factories, institutions where we have to provide work. I am mindful of the effort given by the Ministry of Education of providing our students the leeway to find education at its highest level. But the issue is whether all of those who are graduating out of Lambasa are able to find a job, a decent job in Lambasa. The only available work is, I suppose, the civil service, the timber mill, the wholesale and retail industry in the towns, and of course the sugar industry. Well, there we don't require any much educated guys because our younger generation are not keen on going into cane farming. But is there any effort by the government of putting in like factories, giving them concessions to build up a factory in Lambasa or in Bono level where we can get on board to make available the employment opportunities for our youth? Otherwise, what we will actually see, never mind we have put up infrastructures like FNU putting up a huge multi-million-dollar infrastructure building and so forth for providing education to its highest level. But if our youth who graduated don't find a job, they will eventually end up in Suva or the western side of the country because there is more jobs available there. So my issue is the government or is your ministry trying to put in effort as its best to create employment in the north, basically in Bongo level? Thank you.
But one thing, sir, I can tell you, Lambasa has significantly changed from those days till today. The government has given tax concession and duty-free zone for the whole of the, I think for the northern division, including the islands. When I first came here in November last year, I could see the very visible reflection of the economic activity within Lambasa. I think, we have a huge database in Suva that shows, in our ministry that shows the number of unemployed people that are coming out of high school. One of the challenges I can see myself, I've only been there 9 months. One of the huge challenges that we find in our database is the children that come out of school but unskilled. In that respect, I would say that they don't have any skill set at all. We have a lot of work, I can tell you. I have been to Australia and New Zealand. They are demanding a lot of our workers to go there for 6 to 7 months, come back and then continue. But in our database, there's no skill work. So in that respect, I think you have to ask the institutions that do training to give these students a set of skills. I'm talking about plumbers, carpenters, blocklayers, and those type of skills. Australia at the moment, we are stopping people from going. We just sent 7 workers to New Zealand for the rebuild of Christchurch because that's the only number that we have. So to answer your questions about working availability in Lambasa, I think the easiest way for Lambasa to provide employment is to create tourism activity. Because to do other work, you need overseas investors that would like to come and establish their industries here. But as I said, Lambasa is included as one of the tax-free areas that if anyone wants to come and establish their business here, they are given tax-free. I think the infrastructure is in place now, and the roads are very good. It will just basically a matter of time before we get inside. We are trying to build a wharf that allows international shipping activity for the north. I think Lambasa being a focal point for the surrounding rural areas, it will only need time for it to get itself established before it comes like a cosmopolitan center for the northern division. But anyway, I will take your questions so that, and your name and your address, so that I will go back to the national, the development center, those people at finance and all the other ministries, to coordinate an answer to give you, because I'm basically restricted to employment only. I'm just giving you my overview of the economic plan for Fiji as we move forward. Next.
No other question?
I'm Rosalia Amene, And I'm touring Koro of Wheeling Live Village right in the interior of Maguatani and the Lai Koro.
Let's give a hand.
Oyo natural Koro may Wheeling Gilay, ang ulit sa katiko mainggo, and bukundran na rasa vokalewe na tu na form ni Guru Rondo Meralay Zakazaka. Wang ulit yung amay ni Hiya may hokarong, ni may tarong iso na taro. May balitiro na nung Robo and Akorongo. Kaya wili ba tatal chiko ngayon doon na koro na pinaturang yung koro ito may sura, ibolet katanga o na siya lili. O kung chiko ngayon ko, wala na ganda tu, atul may nabikoro, o babiyatarong nga, may bakani sa tuwina na wali-bola-bola na bikakede ang andrebi. O biya kailangan na daban na ituba-tuba siya na bika meron daw kila. Meda banira sana te ku me kilai mera na tarai sini. Na lebu na ku baka kambo si randa lu matar-tar. Andau kirebe au membo ngole mai bola membo mai batatar. Ko ngole tu mai kinani ku ani wa warung tu mai na regio. O mai ngole tu mai baka nunggu ni tu sala isang kiti ku ngaraban matuntu. Ni kitondo tombale mai on be mani kilometer kilo bono ai kilo basi. Nang misalnya baka matin kutak, yung may wetila, yung balitin dan yung berbeda.
Nah, kalau semua dengan ada semua nung nitar, kinbal balo orto na nung orto sa pamuria na program ko chiko na net membalata na baka wani bala. Kinbal orto sa paske na kena katudak babunwai sarto na physical na bako ko. Sada kau cikera, waktu kau sapas na menurut.
Saya sambil medical check up.
Oke, kena berbal ni. Orto lakau kira kena batang dengan dia. Orto nana bal ke. Merto bakau na ndo may loro babunwai. Sa ndo na babunwai na binakacita le sona kawal bola may bali sudu. Binakacita na text file number. So tala kawal bola chiku merada kawal. Misalnya sekiranya sandundu misalnya cuma nomor paspor, merendah rakawan na physical test, kalau meraba tu na karunia awal nanda, meraba lingkaran kena ada ibaran. Sahuti kira, sangka impi na nirtu nongdongan na ready pool. Na ready pool na sakin balmbal, loko sawawa tu na misabaro loko Australia New Zealand. Mana nulumekin akan itu kinaraka. Met ko na uwi na kata na yun lang mo. Sando na nanumdon na basa rondur na slot. Isi nga tunta, larato lang kami suma, rato lang na kami na yung bakisen na brief. Na kinakamarisi nga, rato sa awan na mga mabuka, rato sa halo na rato lang na kata. Ito na tsiko na nantuwa ni sila singgo lambas. Nikito na nga lang na ko. Sando na nga, tumulibitang na sarwa matate ka. Nakwali.
For this afternoon, I'm just follow up with what we had after, and that is our super emission. Since that form been given from Australia, since we left, and been told to us that after our visas had expired, then we can apply for that super emission. Since then till today, we are still waiting for our super. And I hope your ministry will be will follow up to the Australian government back in Canberra regarding our super emission. Thank you very much.
Do you want to go back to Australia? Then I don't think you should withdraw your super. For those who have gone to Australia and they have carried out the work satisfactorily, you should go back. We will give you the opportunity to go back. The team here are listening. And if you're done, then the employer has given you a tick, then I suggest to you not to withdraw your super. If you want to go for second, third, fourth time, and then you are tired of going to Australia, then you withdraw your super because you would have maintained a very good savings for you. For example, if you save $700 Australian on your first year, if you come out after the fourth year and you're tired of going to Australia, then you would have saved 2,800 Australian dollars. I suggest to you, do not withdraw the super. But if you want to withdraw, because if you do not intend to go back, then we will assist you to have those funds transferred to you. But if you intend to go back, I suggest to you, leave it there and carry on when you return. And that creates a savings, an extra savings for you. And then, for the third year, then withdraw it.
Thank you for your question. I know the NEC board has met and decided on the allowance to be paid. Don't know. The NEC board.
Yeah. There was a question raised on super. Normally the workers for Australia, when they are in Australia, they deduct their super. And at the end of their term in Australia, if they do not intend to go back to Australia, they will be reimbursed with their super. Whatever amount they've deducted, they'll receive. But my advice to them, if they intend to go back to Australia, then that's a good savings for them because they can continue to build up because it generates interest. When they go back and after 3 or 4 times that they've been to Australia for 3-4 years, then they can claim for their super. In this instance, one of the workers had complained that their super had no record. What I basically told them that there are 2 employers in Australia that are now being investigated by Fair Work Ombudsman in Australia, which means that his complaint has been raised and the Fair Ombudsman, which is an independent body formed by the Australian government, is looking into the matter. Which then after they had made their investigation, then they will submit a report to the Australian government and they will then inform us on what the Australian government then will contact us to tell us what the formal investigations result that has been carried out.